Welcome to Soto Creations, where we make your imagination a reality. I am bringing you this quick video tutorial to show you what I set up this year for our photos for the 4th of July. Well, happy 4th of July, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in once again for another video. This tutorial is slightly different because I'm inflating balloons so that I can have bigger clusters. Because of that, I decided to use more of the 16 inches. Normally I would do 1/16 inch with every quad of balloons, or with every 6 balloons or so, 1 or 2, but this time I decided to put 1/16 with every pair that I tie, as I just did, and then put 3 pairs together to form one cluster. And once I have 3 clusters in the 3 colors, that's the goal. I'm trying to estimate that all of these, the 9 clusters, will be enough to create the design I want. We'll see if that works out for me. But I was thinking of what I could do this year. Last year I was pretty enthusiastic and I designed the US flag in a balloon wall. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it below and also have it at the end if you want to watch it. But that was a lot of fun to create because I was thinking about it, had not seen it anywhere. When I thought about it, I didn't really research it. I just put a plan to it in order that I would have 13 stripes, in order that I would have all the balloons aligned in such a way that you would see the stripes and it would be like the wind was blowing through the balloons. And I really love how it turned out. I was so proud of my design. When I told my husband what I was planning to do, of course he thought it would be a waste to just have it at home, so we went through all kinds of loops to try to get it placed somewhere in the city where we live, and it was just perfect where we placed it, right in the route of the parade. So you'll see in that video, if you watch it, how we did everything. And we had several people walking by before the parade started, before we were even done with the backdrop, wanting to take pictures. Now this blue balloon that you see me working with was giving me a little bit of trouble. It's a Qualitex navy. I have Qualitex navy and Tuftex navy that I purchased, and I decided to use the Qualitex for this design because I had the 11-inch balloons in the Qualitex but not in the Tuftex. So as I'm inflating, the 11-inch is decent. It's good, a good size. You can actually see slightly difference in color, but that 16-inch was just giving me so much trouble. For one, it was very thin, so trying to get it round was a little tricky, and then it just kept squishing. I don't know how to explain it, but it was light. My fist would just go right through it as I tried to make it round, and also it just kept popping on me. So I'm going to get the Tuftex to see if it's the same color, and you can see the difference. It's not the same. I have to use that Tuftex for a customer coming up in the future because they want a baseball theme for their son's birthday. But I'm gonna just keep working with this Qualitex navy. It's a pretty color. It's the color I wanted for this backdrop. That 16-inch just gave me a bit of trouble, and again, one of the balloons there popped. I could hear it just deflating, but not fast enough. But I'll fix that eventually as we start assembling everything. I'll end up putting that at the very bottom so that I can easily fix it. Now I'm using the necks in the clusters to attach them. Of course, my order is red, white, and blue, and I repeat that pattern. I have 3 clusters in each color. I'm just adjusting the garland here so that it looks straighter when it's time to put it against the backdrop. So I attach each one. I'm going to show you a close-up of how I attach them. this was a struggle to try and get it done. So I had to ask my husband if he could kindly show you guys how I make that knot in the middle, and he'll come help me with that here shortly. But in the meantime, I'm going to attach the rest till I have just one left for him to help me show you guys. I've had several of you ask me how I'm attaching those balloons together. My nail popped one of the balloons, so I'm showing you here how I pull onto one of the stretchiest necks. A lot of times it's that 12-inch balloon, but again, if it's the same type of balloon in this blue, you can use either one. And as I pull each neck together, then I can tie first one knot and then tie another knot, so you're double knotting it and it stays in place. I promise you it's not going anywhere. Sometimes you even stretch it to where it's so stretchy you think it's you can see it start to tear. Don't give up, keep pulling and just tie and get it secure. So I have my pegs that I use, or clips that I bought from Walmart. They're the small ones. I tie 260Q on the very far right one and the far left one, but those two middle ones I actually use rubber bands to test out this method of attaching it to the garland and the garland to the backdrop, and it was a lot easier. You see, I just use the rubber band and I wrap it around, not wrap, but I put it around the 12-inch balloon, and that helps it stay, and it's pretty easy instead of me trying to wrap and constantly wrap. The only thing is, if your rubber bands are not newer rubber bands, it might not stay in place as well, but this worked perfectly. It was easier. Then I'm just gonna move that right one over a little bit because that's where my garland ends, right? I don't want people seeing that in the pictures. Now I decide, since that one balloon deflated at the bottom there, I'm prepping those two so that I can add to that bottom and also fill that bottom a little bit more. I am now prepping my 5-inch filler balloons to put to the backdrop. One positive thing about using more of your 16 or 17-inch balloons, depending on the brand you pick, is that it's fuller. You don't have a lot of gaps when you design your garland, so you need less of these 5-inch balloons in order to fill the space. So with this one, I'm using 3 instead of 4. Sometimes I will do clusters of 4, sometimes I will do 3. This time I'm using 3 because I just need them as an extra dimension for that organic look. And you can see, like with these big balloons, it just creates a nice fluffy big garland. So that's what I was going for, and I love how it turned out. Before I continue, if this is your first time tuning into my channel, you're welcome again. Please consider clicking that subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you're notified when I do put out new videos. It really supports my channel. I know several of you have been coming back to watch the videos and also have been commenting on the videos, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you for all your kind words and all the kind emojis that you put out. So thank you very much. Now we continue to inflate. I didn't inflate very much because I won't need much. Now I'm going to show you how I inflate these stars to add to the backdrop so that it gives more of a fun, festive 4th of July. It comes in several pieces, so you'll see how they have several of these. What you want to do is put it through the hole that is to inflate. So there are 2 holes, one inflates and one deflates. So I'm going to show you where the silver part is not where you put your balloon inflator, and it's a hand pump. You do not use the electrical pump. So you want to slide it under that transparent piece and then you want to inflate. It's also easier to inflate it when you have that hand pump pulled out already. It inflates faster. You want to inflate till it's nice and firm and it's inflated all the way to the very tip. So we're going to do that for all 6. I think I'll show you here in a little bit again how I inflate it. There are actually 7, which confused me later on in the balloon. So I'm showing you here that front part, the silver part, is not where you put it. That's where you deflate it and you slide it under that transparent part right there. And then since it's already pulled out, my lever you want to hold to secure the balloon, and then you quickly pump or slowly pump to inflate. Now we're going to assemble everything. You double knot it like how we attach the clusters together, but you want to make sure it's loose so you don't tie it close to the very end of that drop balloon or teardrop balloon. Now we're going to tie all our pairs together, and some of these foil balloons come with instructions with pictures that you can follow to attach them. So I'm inflating the rest and putting them all together, and then I'll show you how I get it all assembled. So we're tying the pairs together. Remember, you don't tie it at the very end. If you do that, you're going to have trouble assembling. Trust me, I have learned that from experience with my sister-in-law when we were planning Sabi's 10th birthday. So we have all our pairs. You're gonna twist the pairs together very lightly. Just make sure it's nice and intertwined. It's gonna be light at first where they're not tight together, but as you add, it starts tightening up, because as you see, the base of those teardrops are round and big, so they're gonna start getting close to each other. But as you add each one, you want to twist it in until it fits through and it's nice and twisted, so it doesn't come off when you're trying to put it in your backdrop. So another good method is to just use the other ones close to the one you're twisting in to turn around so that it fits through each other. I hope that helps and that makes sense. Now we're going to use a rubber band this time. Slide it through one of the spikes and just put it through your 12-inch balloon, and that keeps it in place. So no big deal, fairly easy. I have the same thing here with the rubber band. You can see where I had a 260Q to attach that one, but I decided to use a rubber band because it was just easier, and I was rushing here to get this design done so the kids would have pictures and I would have this video out for you guys as well. I had so much going on today and I worked the night before and had to work that same night, so wanted to do this real quick. Now I'm just checking as usual to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I like how the base looks, and I'm just adding all the fillers. Now you want to make sure all your necks are on the back side of the filler so it doesn't show in the design, and your design looks nice and clean. Those are the finishing touches that you want to pay attention to so that your garland looks perfect. For people like me who come and I look at it, I'm like, they should have changed this part. That's how I criticize my own work at the end of, sometimes when I'm even done with the design, I still look at it and criticize it when I've taken pictures and I'm done. Now I'm tying a half a 260Q onto two ends of my filler balloon, the 5 inches, and I'll show you how I attach this one. This is another method instead of using rubber bands that you can do, and that is how it fits on the garland. Now if you wanted it to fit in a different position, you can just use a full 260Q that stretches all the way out, and that will keep your balloon garland where you put your clusters where you want them. So you just use a longer 260Q. So now I'm making adjustments to get everything filled up, covered up, and I'll also show you what I add to this backdrop just to enhance the look. And of course, if you see this balloon somewhere, you'll know it's probably for 4th of July if you live in the United States, but you would probably not know if not. So I wanted to add more to it so that people would see more of the 4th of July culture in the pictures when we do take them. Now we're just checking everything. You know, this takes quite a bit of time for me to be able to look at the design, see what I'm missing, see where I need to add, see what balloons I need to adjust. But I'm again trying to get this done as fast as I can so that I can take pictures with the kids. And if you go to my Instagram page, you'll probably see more of the pictures that I have. So you're welcome to go there and follow the Instagram page so you can see some of the fun pictures they took. So here I tell you guys not to use a rubber band on the 16-inch balloons because they're harder to get it through and you can pop the balloon. But I worked my way through because I really needed that white balloon in that spot. Luckily, the rubber band I was using is one I've used several times, so they're a little stretched out and it was able to fit that white balloon in there. I wanted each color to be right where the other color is to represent everything. So now we are pretty much done. I'm gonna show you what I add that I bought from the dollar store. I wanted to make a banner but didn't have much time to do so. So I found this cute sign that represents my kids who are bold, bright, and brave. And I thought this was the perfect thing to put on this backdrop so that it represents them and the fun activities that they have for the 4th of July. So that's how I have that on there at the very top, so that when they stand in the pictures it doesn't hide that backdrop. Initially I put the USA in the middle and then think, well, when they stand it might cover it up, so I end up getting it off that back part and moving it over to the side. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment below what you're doing for this year's 4th of July, and also let me know what videos you would like to see. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed week.